Welcome to the CJK Fire and Safety Education Podcast. CJK Fire and Safety is a specialist consultancy based in far north Queensland, Australia. Specialising in fire safety, the business director and accredited fire safety engineer, Christina Knorr, acts as a special expert witness in legal cases across the nation. This includes developing litigation-compliant reports and being engaged for court cases within the construction stream of the legal industry. Join us at CJK Fire and Safety Education, where we discuss hot topics regarding fire safety in Australia. Welcome to another episode of the CJK Fire and Safety Education Podcast. I'm your host, Emily Knox. Today I'm going to have a chat with Christina Knorr, the founder of CJK Fire and Safety. She is an accredited fire safety engineer, a special expert witness, qualified mediator, mentor, small business owner, and mother. Basically, she's a Wonder Woman. Welcome to the podcast, Christina.
Thank you, Emily. So excited to be here.
Yay. So June 23rd was International Women's Day, Women in Engineering Day. This is a day where we celebrate women engineers around the world who do amazing things to enhance our lives, and this year the theme is Enhanced by Engineering. Engineering addresses real-world challenges. You may not be aware of it, but behind every aspect of your modern world is an engineer. Things like clean water, reliable energy, communication, transport, farming, buildings, and infrastructure. Our lives are indeed enhanced by engineering. There are many streams of engineering, including civil, mechanical, fire, electrical, chemical, software, industrial, and everything in between. Christina, you are a woman in engineering. You first studied mechanical engineering, then specialised in fire safety engineering. Can you tell us what fire safety engineering is?
Sure. Fire safety engineering is considered to be part of the construction sector, and it's used to analyze human and fire behavior and also how these two aspects interact with each other. Although my expertise in construction, fire safety also is applied in the marine industry, aerospace industry, road infrastructure, mining, and pretty much anywhere where people can access and where fire can occur.
Yep. What differentiates fire safety engineering from other engineering professions?
Well, in my view, fire safety requires a lot of creativity and extreme strong problem-solving skills because no project is the same. We always have to have an individualized approach to a problem that we receive on our tables.
Mm-hmm.
A fire safety engineer generally needs to understand a combination of different engineering disciplines. So, for instance, when we do computer modeling for smoke behavior or smoke movement, we need to understand mechanical engineering.
Mm-hmm.
When we do calculations for charring rates on timber structure, we need to understand structural engineering. So we also require good communication skills, and we also need to build a lot of resilience to present our case to project teams.
Because not everyone's on board, so you need to be able to put your point across.
That's right. Fire engineering is not the first thing people think about when they start working on the project.
One of my favourite quotes is, "If you want to change the world for better, become an engineer." What made you choose to become an engineer? And what do you think is stopping people, especially women, from becoming engineers?
Well, I actually think people do not become engineers. They're born engineers. Or at least people are born with an engineering mindset or they're not. And then it comes down to the family, parents or role models, grown-ups in the child's life to support and develop that. I was fortunate enough that my mom was an engineer, my dad is an engineer. So I think I learned from a very early age what problem solving meant. And then when I finished school and needed to choose a profession, I did a test which was specifically developed to help young people to determine what profession they want to learn. And it came back with two options. Option one was engineering, and option two was graphic design. So obviously being a teenager to do something in contrary what my parents encouraged me to do, I went and did an internship in graphic design and I hated it. So I had no option but to go and study engineering.
It was fate.
But then to answer your second question about why I think people don't do engineering that frequently is that I think we misrepresent engineering as a profession. When we think about surgeons, doctors, those people who save lives. When we think about engineers, the people who fix cars or build cars, not so meaningful. But if we made it really clear that engineer can do both save lives and also earn a lot of money, I think more people would choose that profession.
Yeah. Have you ever worked on a project that could not be solved by engineering?
No, I personally haven't. However, there were occasions where fire safety engineering was not the best financially feasible option for the client. So I had instances where I did not advise to use fire engineering and outlined options.
Okay. How do you become a fire engineer? You said you started, or we know that you started as a mechanical engineer. Is that the most common engineering pathway?
So in Australia, traditionally, this is what is happening, that engineering graduates, and not necessarily mechanical engineers, any type of engineers, fall into the fire engineering profession by chance. So that happened to me as well. When I finished my bachelor's in mechanical engineering and secured my first job, we had a fire engineering / fire protection department in the firm. So this is the first time I actually found out about fire safety engineering, which I found really interesting. And then for my second job, I specifically applied as a fire safety graduate at a fire safety consultancy. So even today, although there's more courses now and people can become fire engineers through studies, the most common pathway is to have an engineering degree and then secure a graduate job in a fire safety engineering consultancy. But then if someone wants to become accredited and licensed in Australia, then a master's in fire safety engineering is a must.
Yeah. Okay, then sure. So you mentioned that you were working at an engineering firm. What motivated you to start your own company?
Yes, so I had worked for engineering companies in capital cities early in my career. I would say I got well respected in my circles. And then my family decided to move to far north Queensland. And when we arrived here, fire engineering pretty much didn't exist. So really, the decision was made to start my own company to have fire engineering in the remote area of far north Queensland and allow the construction industry here to have the benefit of fire safety engineering.
Yeah. Provide that service that was missing. What are the services provided by CJK Fire and Safety?
So as mentioned, fire safety engineering services, where we do traditional fire safety engineering. I also act as an expert witness in construction litigation cases and as a mediator. We have established an educational platform that contains selection of online courses that anyone interested in the topic can enroll in. And also in terms of fire safety engineering, we provide peer reviews, risk assessments, and reviews of existing fire safety strategies.
What would you say sets CJK apart from other consultancies?
So I'm a big fan of holistic analysis and assessment. So when it comes to assessing any or looking at any problem, make a big effort to look at it holistically and not patch individual issues. We take a lot of time to listen and understand the actual problem that our clients might have. We work very closely and communicate consistently about the progress or any information that might be missing. So we never leave it to the last minute.
Yeah.
And so I would say I don't remember projects where we had to be chased for the deliverables. We're quite good in terms of time management.
Yeah.
Also because we're such a small firm, nothing leaves the office without my review and approval. So I would say we can pride ourselves of high quality deliverables.
Yeah. What would you say are some misconceptions people have about fire safety in buildings, and how would you address them?
People sometimes believe that fire engineering is too hard or unnecessary. That approach will often just complicate and delay projects. So we try to let people know that engaging fire engineers early can result in a huge cost saving for their project. Depending on the size and magnitude of the problems that they might have, fire safety engineering is not always possible to be applied retrospectively. So that's something fire safety engineering like the structural engineers work or hydraulic engineers work, fire safety engineers work should start at the concept stage and not be used as a retrospective problem-solving tool.
Yeah. So when they're talking to their architects and compliance people, that at the same time they should be engaging you for fire safety engineering.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, you said you were also an expert witness. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, of course. So expert witness services are required in legal matters to assist courts in making informed decisions. As an expert, I will be engaged through a lawyer to assist a particular party in that legal matter. But my actual role is to provide an expert opinion to assist the judge to make a decision.
I expect there'd be a lot of specific terminology that not everyone would understand. So is that part of your role to make sure that the court can understand this type of thing?
We have to remember that when a judge looks at a case, at a matter that's being served, that judge is not necessarily an expert in construction or fire safety. Yesterday, he was looking at a family dispute. Today, he's looking at a construction case. So when we prepare expert reports, we need to make sure it's very clear and there's no questions about the terminology and meaning of certain terms. So that's what sets special experts apart from just fire engineers, that we have learned how to explain complicated concepts in very simple terms.
Yeah. So what else would make you a good expert witness?
In most legal cases, time is of essence. So being on time with your reports and not delay evidence is very important. And also being organized and structured. Legal reports have certain requirements on what they should look like and how they should be structured and formatted. So that's quite a significant portion of my work to make sure it's all aligning with the industry expectation.
And you would have to remain quite unbiased and just give your opinion on the facts, not assume things about the case.
I cannot be an advocate for my client. So there might be cases where my evidence is not necessarily making the client happy, but it's an opinion that's independent.
And can you tell me about mediation? That's different to expert witness, isn't it?
So in expert witness, we ask specific questions and we provide our own opinions. In mediation, we facilitate discussions between the disputing parties. So we don't provide our opinion, but the expertise that I hold and when I act as a mediator in construction cases will help me to ask the right questions so the people are guided into the right direction. But the actual decision making is with the parties in dispute.
So there must be a lot to keep up to date with, especially with advancements and legislation and regulations. How do you keep up with all of this and how do you incorporate that into your services?
So firstly, as an accredited engineer, I need to keep up my CPDs. So there's a certain amount of hours that I have to spend on education for myself. What I do as well is that I present at conferences and write papers for those conferences, both in Australia and internationally. And I offer online seminars, and we also offer tailored presentation for clients. If someone wants us to come in and explain a concept, we're happy to do that. So when I do speak at conferences, I also stay back and listen to other speakers. That gives me an opportunity to learn from others. And obviously, there's a lot of literature, such as journal articles, industry updates, and guidelines that I read. There's a lot, but it's necessary to keep up to date.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned that you do seminars and conferences. What other educational resources do you offer?
We have developed an educational platform on our website. We write monthly blogs and articles on a variety of fire safety topics. We post them on the CJK website. We send quarterly, I believe, newsletters. And the topics range from simply compliance questions to case study to news, if there's anything new that has been published or a new fire occurred. So like now we're doing podcasts for people who like to listen, and we invite anyone who is interested in any particular topic to submit topics. We have a form on our website to request a topic that we can specifically develop if people have interest.
Yeah, that's so good, isn't it? Getting everyone's input to find out what people want to know.
Yes.
Give the people what they want.
Exactly.
What about the courses? What can you tell me a bit more about the courses?
Yes, so we do have an online learning platform, and it's in our own learning management system. These courses range from free courses that anyone can enroll in to shorter informative videos or quite lengthy an hour long courses on various topics. And they're not intended just for professionals, but for anyone interested in the topic, for anyone really working in the construction industry.
Yeah, so that's everyone from certifiers, architects, building managers, just anyone that lives in a building or works in a building.
Absolutely.
That's like pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
What about the future for CJK? Have you got any plans?
There's no real plan for expansion. So I do want to continue assisting the construction industry and grow our educational platform. And in my experience, a lack of education is really one of the biggest problems and the reason why certain issues arise throughout the project.
Well, that's all we got time for today. Anyone out there, if you're interested in any of these courses, please head over to CJKfireandsafety.com.au. I've had a look at the courses there, and there are some really interesting topics, and you can enroll anytime, and it's all online and self-paced. So make sure you get there and give yourself an educational boost. Until next time, this is Emily Knox, and this is CJK Fire and Safety Education, signing out. CJK Fire and Safety hosts a range of educational resources on fire safety and engineering topics, explained in an easy and understandable way. We invite you to enrol in our interactive online courses. All courses have a completion certificate and may contribute to your continuing professional development points. Visit our website at cjkfireandsafety.com.au to learn more.